हो गया, अभी हो गया।
आ गया सर?
यस मैम, फाइनली विदाउट एनी इंटरप्शन।
थैंक यू सर।
आपका ये वाला स्क्रीन विजिबल है, आप
कौन सा
इसको
ये
ओपन
गूगल
करिए।
वाला?
हाँ, आपका वाला स्क्रीन और गूगल मीट का स्क्रीन ओपन कर लीजिए मैम।
शेयर कर दो।
यस यस, नो प्रॉब्लम। जस्ट म्यूट कर लीजिए सब लोग, बिकॉज इट इज़ ऑन लाइव। Should I left, ma'am?
जस्ट अ मिनट सर।
No, it will go smoothly, no problem.
सर स्ट्रीमिंग आ रहा है क्या सर?
Yes, yes, yes. In YouTube, it is, I mean, properly lived.
हेलो हेलो।
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Can you hear me?
यस सर, यस सर, यस सर, यू आर ऑडिबल। जस्ट अ मिनट सर। गुड इवनिंग सर, वी विल स्टार्ट शार्प एट 7 o'clock सर।
Ma'am, can you hear me?
यस सर, यू आर ऑडिबल।
Yeah.
सर वी विल स्टार्ट शार्प एट 7 o'clock सर।
Okay, ma'am.
यू
In
कैन
the
शेयर योर स्क्रीन सर।
yeah, I'll just try to.
आई विल स्टॉप प्रेजेंटिंग सर।
Yeah. How do I?
यस सर।
Try to share.
अच्छा नहीं है सर। हेलो। हाँ हाँ, क्या सर? हाँ हाँ सर।
Please let me know if you can see my screen.
हॅलो हां सर ठीक आहे सर ओके हां 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 सर स्टार्ट करायचं
हो करून टाका ना. पाटील सर जॉईन करणार आहे का?
तेच त्यांनाच कॉल करत होते सर कॉल काय लागत नाही आहे सर त्यांचा एक मिनटं वाट बघू सर 7:05 सुरू करू शार्प
स्टार्ट करून द्या. ऍक्च्युली इनवाईल स्टार्ट करून द्या ना स्वाती मॅडमचं.
हां ठीक आहे सर
जॉईन झालं तर ओकेच आहे.
ठीक आहे सर
स्वाती मॅडमला सांगितलं आपण.
हो हो हाँ सर, मैं स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ. 1-2 मिनट के लिए आपका प्रेजेंटेशन थोड़ा सा ही कर देंगे सर. हाँ सर. हेलो हेलो हेलो. हाँ सर, स्टार्ट कर दो. हेलो. ओके. Yeah, very good evening to one and all.
Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very good evening to one and all. I, Assistant Professor Rita Kadam, from Department of Computer Science Engineering, Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Pimpri Chinchwad University, once again warmly welcomes you all to Day 2 webinar series on Idea to Deployment AI Project Bootcamp. Yesterday on Day 1, we had an engaging start to the series. Our esteemed dignitaries shared their inspired words, setting the tone for this knowledge journey. We also had the privilege to hear from our distinguished guest speaker, Mr. Sanju Menon. The session gave us valuable takeaways on bridging the gap between the academic learning and industry requirements. As we move into Day 2, the excitement continues. Today's session will further deepen our understanding of AI project lifecycle and provides hand-on perspective to enhance our learning journey. I encourage all participants to stay attentive, interactive, and make most of this unique opportunity to learn directly from the experts. Now, before we begin with today's knowledge session, it is my privilege to invite our esteemed dignitaries to share their words of wisdom with us. First of all, I would like to call upon Dr. Vijay Patil sir, Dean of Engineering and School Technology, whose guidance and leadership have been driving force behind academic excellence and industry-oriented initiatives at SOET. Sir, we request you to kindly address the audience. Over to you, sir. Patil sir, am I audible?
Thank you, Rita.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, all participants and speakers. Today's speaker. This data science is playing vital role in all sectors, in defense, industry, in all aspects. So the engineers are there to solve the problems, to build the systems, to design the systems. But if data knowledge and data availability is with them, then they can do this intelligently, efficiently, and creatively. So the importance of data, now all companies, Google, Tesla, Microsoft, all companies, Amazon, all are working on data only. Every day 463 exabyte data is getting generated. All human in the world will not, when they speak at a time, they will also not able to generate this much data daily. So this much data is generated daily and the people are working on it. The real problem is that the storage of data is a problem, and the server required to process it is also a problem. So now the world is looking towards India. Now Indian government have developing, already they are working on data center. It is in the Assam, huge data center in collaboration with USA, and small data center is also they are constructing in India, but it requires a lot of resources, water requirement, energy, and all those things. So there are so many hurdles, but engineers has to work on it. And now AI is what? AI is nothing but it analyzes the data, work on it, and produces the result. AI cannot think like a human being. It is just analyze and do the things on the data only. So importance of data is vital. To learn this, what skills engineers are required. Python programming is any programming, but Python is more popular language. Then statistics, mathematics, and statistics is the knowledge of statistics is required. Data visualization, and next last step is machine learning. So I hope the today's speaker will give very good insight on this data science. This is from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Swati Shirke, Head of the
Ma'am,
Department.
kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Swati Shirke, ma'am, Head of the Department, AIML, whose tireless efforts and academic stewardship have greatly contributed to building a strong foundation to our students and faculty. May I request you to, ma'am, share your thoughts with us?
Yes. A very good evening, all. I, Dr. Swati, warmly welcome you to the AI Project Bootcamp at Pimpri Chinchwad University. This bootcamp is a wonderful platform to transform ideas into impactful AI solutions. So I encourage all the participants to learn, explore, and collaborate with the full enthusiasm. So my best wishes with all the participants, mentors, and all the organizing team for a successful and enriching bootcamp. Thank you, all of you. Over to you, Rita ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your motivating words. Now it is my honor to welcome our
Unmute yourself, please. Unmute.
Yes,
Rita ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your motivating words. With that, let us begin today's session and take another step towards in transforming ideas into a real-world AI deployments. Now, it is my honor to welcome our guest, Mr. Ravinder Pal Singh, Director of Software Engineering at Amdocs. With over 18 years of rich experience in leading transformative software initiatives, Mr. Singh brings deep expertise in software development, service delivery, agile methodologies, design thinking, and cross-functional leaderships. His strategic vision and hands-on approach have constantly driven innovation and excellence across the global telecom solutions. At Amdocs, Mr. Singh has played a pivotal role in delivering cutting-edge technologies that align with customer needs and business objectives. His passion for leveraging technologies to create meaningful impact, coupled with his dedication to mentoring future leaders, makes him a truly inspiring figure in the global tech community. Beyond his corporate contributions, Mr. Singh is an active contributor to professional networks such as DevCon, TID Talks, and IEEE. He has also participated in events focused on empowering women in technology and fostering innovations, making his influence far reaching and impactful. We truly privileged to have him with us today to share his knowledge and insights. Before we hand over to Ravinder sir, let's hear from Amdocs what they have done on request. And request was with one motto: to inspire and ignite the young Indian engineers. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Ravinder Pal Singh. Sir, we kindly request you to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I think sir is got disconnected. He will be joining soon.
Yeah. Just yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is joining. Just a minute, sir.
By the time sir is joining, I would request all of you to make this today's session very engaging. Just like yesterday's session, there was quiz which was also involved associated with the topic of yesterday's session. Similarly, today also we'll be conducting the quiz along with the interaction. So make it more interactive. Ask your doubt, queries, and concern. Definitely, yesterday's session was insightful, where you have understood the project life cycle. Similarly, today also you will be able to get more insightful about this AI project deployment. So how generative AI will give more impact, will create an impact. All those aspects will be covering up in today's session. So within few minutes, sir will be joining again back with us. and we'll be starting with this today's session. So I request all the participant to make sure that they are asking their queries in the chat box. And yes, don't forget to mark your attendance by liking the link. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Sir is joining within 2 minutes.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, by the time sir is joining, let me give you some insightful regarding what aspect today sir is going to cover. Today sir will be covering up the impact of generative AI on and what will be the future of IT industry. As we all are aware that AI is assisting us in the code, where you will be going for automation, where you will be going for AI generated documentation, test cases, and all this stuff. Parallelly, operations and infrastructure will also get affected with the help of AI driven monitoring. So, because of that, how generative AI can help us to provide the platform for autonomous incident resolution, for cloud optimization, for cost reduction. These all aspects will be covered up in today's session. Parallelly, sorry, parallelly, the business and IT alignment will also be taken care. Along with that, how AI force will be uh, carried away in the industry. There are multiple areas like prompt engineering, there are machine learning, artificial intelligence. All of these things will be interlinked, and that will be covered up in today's session. So let us just hope that quickly the technical issue will get resolved and sir will be joining us. By the time sir is joining us, yesterday we have learned about software lifecycle. So I would like to know from the audiences how many of you remember what are the phases of the software life cycle, because again today with respect to generative AI, we'll be also covering up software lifecycle phases. So please let us know in the chat box what are the life cycle phases which you remember from yesterday's session, so that we'll come to know that yes, you all are not only attending this session but it making it more attentive. So let me know your answers in the chat. Let's see how many of you are having clearer idea. I see Prathamesh has mentioned that there are 5 phases. So Prathamesh, do mention that what were the 5 phases which was discussed yesterday related to project life cycle.
हाँ चाहिए सर प्लीज़ हाँ हाँ
Meanwhile, other people can also give the steps, the phases involved in software life cycle. Ashraf is saying 7 phases. So first we will be discussing what were the 5 phases. If anything extra you wanted to add, Ashraf, you can add it up. Yeah, what were the 5 phases? So great. Ayush has mentioned that initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure. So very good attempt, Ayush. Anyone else wanted to add anything apart from this? So Shravan has mentioned almost the same phases. So glad to see that most of you were able to remember. Now I would like to know from Ashraf's side, like what were the additional 2 phases you were talking about? So I can see very few people are giving the responses promptly. What about others? Quickly let us know. All right, so let me give the correct final answer. So yes, these were the 5 phases: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure. Now let me ask another generalized question, because today's session is based upon generative AI. How many of you are aware about the difference between generative AI and GANs, that is generative adversarial network? Anyone who is aware about the difference between generative AI and generative adversarial network? Do let us know your answer in chat, in the comment box, all of you. All right. So still I have not received the answers. Ashraf has given the remaining two phases. The sixth was project evaluation and knowledge transfer. Very good attempt, Ashraf. That can be scalable phases. Now talking about the difference between generative AI and GAN. Anyone? What are the idealistic difference between both generative AI and GANs?
sir you are not audible
Yeah. So I can see Ayush has mentioned that generative AI is a tool using application, and whereas your GAN is a technique. Very good attempt. So let me give you a broader aspect. So most of them has given the same response that GAN is a tool which is used to make generative AI. So when we talk about generative AI and GANs, generative AI is mostly creation of new content using ML model, DL model, that is machine learning and deep learning models, where you'll be going for architectures like transformers, BERT, and all. Whereas when we talk about GANs, GAN will be specifically used within generative AI. So when we say like generative adversarial network, it will be combining both the aspect generator as well as discriminator. So this generator, when we say, will be generating the images, and discriminator will be the one who will be verifying the original as well as synthetic images. So both of these images, fake images and the real images, will be generated using generator and the discriminator, and the model will be fine-tuned till the time synthetic image and the generative uh, images which were initially fake one are not getting mapped. So that will sum up into your generative adversarial network. Can anyone tell me the real-time example or application of generative adversarial network and generative AI?
Sir,
Yeah, ma'am.
yes, sir. Sir has joined, sir. Sorry to
Great.
interrupt.
Yeah. So by the time you are giving the answers, I think I will hand it over towards sir. Sir, please continue. Thank you for your uh, time. Please, you can proceed with the further session, sir.
Yeah, I'm control. So let me know if you can see my screen now. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Not yet, sir. Your screen is visible now. Yeah, sir.
Okay, screen.
Yeah, sir.
Screen visible? Yes, no?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. You can proceed further.
Basically, I will read.
Sir, your screen is visible, but your voice is breaking, sir.
Let me try.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I turn on my video, it looks like some. Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, I personally believe, the content about Gen AI, if you talk about teaching, you will learn better in colleges and universities because we have better academy over there. What I really want to share with you is all about industry, how we see this whole concept growing and where we are going with this whole world of Gen AI and how it's changing the whole software industry. That is what I'm going to talk about. But before we start, what I really want to cover is roles and skills that we have today as of now, how the whole landscape is changing with AI, and then what are the future opportunities that we have. Okay, so if you look today, what are the different roles in IT? If I ask you guys, anybody over here, you want to type in chat or you want to talk about what are different roles in IT when it comes to your mind? What do you think? What are different roles in IT we have? Anyone, if you can unmute and talk about it. Anybody here? When I talk to a lot of college going students, everybody thinks they want to code and they want to write codes. I want to be a developer. This is what I think the whole software engineering is all about. But the software engineering is not only about this. There are multiple roles which are part of software industry, which is whereas if you see 43% of the jobs are non-coding jobs or not even non-technical jobs even today. And when you see a lot of people are crying that there are a lot of jobs which are going out of IT industry, these are jobs which are replicated in nature, which are redundant in nature, which are more on the process oriented jobs. If you ask for writing a software, only 30% of it is only writing the code. rest goes in testing, rest goes in designing, rest goes in requirement analysis, rest goes in getting in go live, and then post maintenance activities. So 50% of jobs are technical, whereas 43% of jobs today also are non-technical, human centric, customer engagement, talking about business, and this is industry. So, for example, I often give this example. So, if you talk about a hospital, is everybody in hospital a doctor? The answer is no. You will find different kind of people in hospitals which are working together to make it a working hospital, so that you and we can go to these hospitals and get ourselves treated. Similar in an IT industry, not everybody is coding. People are doing different kind of jobs with different niche skills to make sure we come up with a working software which can be used by different people across the industry. Now, if you look at the typical jobs which are called technical jobs, these are few names that I can think about. These are the few technical jobs that persist today and are being talked about. But these are some of the jobs which are more on the analysis side, more on the administrative side, more on the side of leadership side, which exists there. You don't really need to code all the time. For example, for cloud ops, you don't need to, you need to maintain the cloud operations. You need to make sure that we had a right monetization for the cloud. We went to the cloud because we wanted it to be more available in terms of resources, and we want it to be more cheap. So how do you make sure, because cloud everything is paid, so we want to monetize, we want to save everything, we want to check every service that we are using, we want to bring down every resource which is not being used, we want to check what kind of memory we are using, we want to check what kind of hardware you are using, what kind of GR I am using. So these are all things that you don't need to code all the time. It is more of an analysis, more of a strategic thinking that you need to have in all the time. So this is where we are in today. Now, what kind of skills do I really need to work in an IT company? Technical skills and power skills. Technical skills, when I talk about this is a typical vanilla plate which we should have to work in a startup, work in an IT company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you have these skills, I'm sure you are going to get a good job. Now, these skills are needed for needed. Why? Because you should know what is automation. You should be able to write the programs. You should be able to save the programs in GitHub repositories. You should have the basic of networking. You should know what is networking, how to use the cloud. You should know the data structures. What are those? You should know what is encryption. Security is very important. You should know cloud basics. You should know testing, communicate. You should be a cross-platform. You should know source and version control. You should know databases are important. Mapping time, and containerization is very important. So these are basics that you should know. Maybe you will not know everything at the best, but yes, you should have an idea about it, which is very important for you. But on the other hand, the power skills we keep talking about are basic: critical thinking, creative thinking, blah blah blah. These are the things which we generally don't talk about, but these are things which make you powerful. That's why they are the powerful skills, because they give you power to express, power to communicate, power to collaborate. So these are the skills we should always develop, because this muscle takes some time. There's no book which says how to collaborate with people. You pass this test and you should be able to collaborate. It doesn't happen that way. You have to learn it. Now I will zoom into what things have changed. This is how it has been happening all many years. But suddenly somebody came, and this GPT came into picture. And then came the OpenAI, and came the Gemini. And with this, they started a mad race of incremental software, incremental upgrades, and everything has started changing. And everybody talks about this Industrial Revolution 5.2. Now, what really has changed, if you ask me, that you are being replaced by machines. That is very important. Till now, what you see is we created machines, we started using machines, machines were trained, machine became smart. But in all this, machine never took over from us. But in this case, the machines are going to take over from us. And this is what is happening. On the other hand, one more thing to realize is we are ready for this change. People are ready to get change as soon as possible. You remember the lockdown when it happened? We all learned how to wear masks. We learned how to work from home. We learned how to study from home. We learned everything very easily. So this means we are very keen to adapt to the changes. And this is what happened. Net surfing, if I ask you people on this global virtual war room, everybody will say, yes, I know how to connect to internet using ChatGPT. Do you surf internet? Maybe. I'm not using internet as much as I would. So these things have started to change a lot. Now, what really is happening? We have found there are multiple use cases where AI can be used. I just when I joined, we were talking about multiple ways how AI can be used. There are very good cases about how India is getting into the big picture of AI. When we started, we were talking about data centers and all. A classic example is your Digi Yatra. You don't need anybody to help you. You can help yourself. You just self-register yourself on e-check-in, and that's it. You are able to do everything on your own. So machine is smart enough to detect whether you are the right person, open the gate for you, and your security check is done. So this enablement is happening in India and making us as a smart nation. And with the population that we have, this AI is a boom for us because it is solving a lot of problems where we are doing a lot of handholding for ourselves. And we are also answering a lot of questions that business is putting today. The demand of today's customer is to get every food delivered in 10 minutes, every shopping to be done in 3 minutes, things to be changed every 2 days. So business is becoming very dynamic. And to do those software development, develop those products, we need production of everything on a rapid speed, and AI is solution for that. When I talk about organizations, what are the use cases where this AI can be used? External communication, where we interact with a lot of people. AI can understand what you are trying to do and do this communication on your behalf, because this is a lot of time consuming activity that we do most of the time. Customer relationship and interactions, chatbot, smart AI agentic agents can be used today, which can do these interactions for you so that you can reduce the time on people doing this work for you. Security frauds are done in a typical pattern, and if you can learn from those patterns, these can be prevented. So these security frauds can be very well managed by AI. HR, workforce management. HR is a world today which is heavily impacted by AI. Why? Because processes are always the same. Processes hardly change, and whenever there's a process-oriented work, AI does a wonderful job over there. Operation environments, monitoring to the devices, logistics, supply chain, production floor management, and all these are classical examples where we see AI can do a wonderful job for us. So diverse industries have realized if we have these autonomous machines, autonomous softwares which can do things on their own and can take actions on their own, then we'll save a lot of time, and our time to market, which is delivering product on time, can be achieved in a better way. So when I say all this, a classic example which I remember all the time is recommendation system. But whether it be your Amazon or your case of what movies you want to watch on Netflix, can be a simple example which can touch my life every day. The system can, based upon my interest, decide what probably I am going to buy. And this can also solve a lot of problem for your based upon your recommendation. You can do supply chain management also. What is going to happen in future in terms of consumer consumption? Again, just very high level. I never wanted to talk about machine learning, deep learning, RAG, all the stuff, because I feel you guys should know it, and you should on their own. But supervised learning, we do a lot of it. Unsupervised learning, we do classification, regression, a lot of stuff happening today in this space, and just a blueprint of it, how we are doing over it here. But what really has changed as a software engineer for me is this, and this is an employee from X, which was called Twitter earlier, that I am not able to use 90% of my skills today. And I am only using 10% of the skills that I have, because 90% of which I was doing most of the times is taken care of by my AI. I still remember when I used to write code, I used to spend a lot of time on debugging, a lot of time on compilation, a lot of time on documentation, then merging the code, which is not a typical coding job. This all work is done by AI now. A lot of impact analysis, requirement analysis is a job of a developer today, which can be done by AI very easily. So what really is changed? I remember 2020 or 2000, sorry, there was a statement saying that if you know Java, your job is secured in as a developer. Now you have a new statement. You say if you know how to use Copilot, your job is secured as a developer. Can these co-pilots take over all the work from you? The answer is no. Why? Because there is always a human element associated which needs a human validation in terms of development. We are not going to write everything from the scratch. We have legacy systems which are developed. I am still working on a system which is developed 30 years back, and we have to live with it. This is the irony, or this is the fact that we all know. We cannot run away from it. So what really is happening that we have to develop and we have to build on top of it. So what really will happen is, can I expose this code to the external world LLM? And I cannot do it. This is proprietary. So what will happen is LLM or your GitHub will give me a container, which will be around 80%, 90%. But that 10% customization, I have to do it on my own. So that is the 10% that I'll keep doing all the time as a developer. Now, if I look at the whole stuff that is happening in IT today, there's a lot of GenAI tools which are getting developed throughout the life cycle of our software development. There are so many tools coming into picture, from analysis to test to delivery to support. Everywhere you go, there are a plethora of tools which are coming into picture. And every company is claiming they have tools for everything. There are co-pilots for everything. There's Jasper, there is Google Workspace, there is GitHub Copilot, there is GTP, there's everything. I'm using Cursor, so there are so many tools available in the market. But when you look in the longer run, so can these tools be used from end to end? There is a research done by ThoughtWorks, and it says not actually. Requirement is something dynamic, and it needs a context. And we all know AI needs a lot of context to be set before it gives the answer, and it is failing to set that context. So that is why it needs a lot of input from human to set this context. So this autonomous body cannot work all the time. We need a lot of stuff all the time to know whether we are doing good or bad. So requirement will keep changing all the time, and we'll have to do a lot of tweaking and trading. So that's why the 40% is a maximum that we'll have from this. Now coming to analysis. Analysis is something that keeps changing all the time. Analysis is again based on the result. You have results, you accept, you deep dive, then you take some actions. Again, it can be 70%, 90% in one case, in other cases it might change all the time. So this is the change that we have to develop again and again. Once you are clear with requirement, analysis, writing code is a standard. Like I said, templates can be designed very fast. If it's a scratch code that you want to write, it can be write very easily. So you can go to still 60% and 70% in the development. The moment you develop the code, test cases can be developed very easily. And this is how you see. But as you go to last leg of any software, which is deployment, which is where you go, where the rubber meets the road, we see a problem. Why? We see a problem because this is where we have a problem. It is dynamic. This is where we have defects. This is where the products start crashing, and we cannot rely on machine to answer these questions. The customers that we have, they are very dynamic in nature. They are very innovative. They are very creative. They are very can you hear me? Now, guys, can you hear me? Now, something very important that we need to understand here is that software development, when you talk about, there are so many co-pilots that exist today. You have Code Whisper, you have IBM Watson, we have so many things which are coming into picture. But something which is coming up very fancy and which is making a lot of buzz these days is low code platforms where or no code where you don't have to really write code. You just have to draw, sketch it, and the code is in the background. For low fidelity models where we are doing a lot of POCs, these play a wonderful role. You don't really have to draw these UIs for yourself. Figma is one of the classic tools that we use a lot, and I personally use it a lot most of the times. You just go, write your code. You don't just draw your front end. The back end will be taking care of it automatically. So these really help the designers, the analysis teams to do a lot of POC on the faster run. This is a wonderful thing which has come into picture and is really helpful for people on the ground. Now, something that we all know is the full stack development. Now, full stack development, we all know, is a fancy word that we all wanted to do. Now, either people were front-end developers, back-end developers, database developers, we have DevOps engineer or mobile developers. Now, this different class of people was rolled up to call as full stack developers. Now, these full stack developers are very niche as of today and need a lot of knowledge. But the moment you plug in assistant called, Copilot, the task becomes very easy. Any developer with the help of Copilot can do anything. I personally know a lot of Copilot developers who are writing Java codes. A lot of my Unix developers who are writing Python codes. Why? Because they are getting a lot of help from these Copilots. So this gap between multiple kind of developers that we have today is getting bridged by using these GenAI Copilots. Now, something very important which is changing today is browsing. I don't know how many of you know this or not, but browsing is changing today. A lot of us today are not using Google. We are using these GTPs. We are using Gemini to get the exact result. We don't want answers from various links and then traverse those links to get the answers. We know, SEOs, how they do. They build the algorithms, they bypass the algorithms and create the results. We don't want that. What we really want is somebody to go and help me out. So I want an exact result for you. So what really is going to change in future is we are going to have a lot of agentic web browsing. Your agent is going to go and buy stuff for me. I don't have to go and to search on Amazon for a best shoe for me. Agent is going to buy, search, recommend a shoe for me. I just click one and boom, it is done. I don't have to enter my card details anymore. I don't have to pick address anymore. The moment I change the size of a shoe, I change the age, it remembers, okay, this is not for me, this is for somebody else. And maybe it will change the address also. It's not you, somebody else, your parents or somebody else. Image and voice recognition, it is already happening for your Amazon today. You just click the image, it's working for you. Similarly, your web will also go into this mode where you can just look into the image, search for it, and your buying is done. You don't need anything else. Multi-mode is, you can buy from your phone, your voice, your typing, anything. You don't really need browsers for it. Personalization, I'll get personalized browsing history. Today it's for everybody. You go and use it. The future is where personalized will kick in. Everybody will have their personalized login pages. Everybody will have their personalized websites where I can use it. And last is search, where I will not be dependent on one website. My browsing will be best available online, and it will not be dependent on web portal or when online shopping. It can be multiple plethora out of which I can choose for my own. Something very important which is coming up and which is spinning up very hard today is data. I know Sir was talking about data just before. AI is bought up on data, and if you don't have data, your AI will not work. So this data layer that we have here plays a vital role. So there are so many roles which are coming in data today. As we talk today, data scientist is there, data engineer is there, business analyst is there, prompt engineer came, and now you're saying we don't need prompt engineers. Prompting is something that everybody should know it. Machine engineers has been there, NLP engineers are there. So data engineering roles are going to be there, and they are going to evolve more. So this is one stuff which is going to be there forever. Something very important with data also will come into picture is your security. Now, what about security? Security today is a fight between good and bad. One good who's trying to save you, bad who's trying to destroy you. GenAI will propel your safety, and it will go to the other side also. Why? Because GenAI will make sure your mitigation becomes fast, because detection will become fast. Because today detection is most based on our rules. But permutation combination will increase with GenAI. GenAI will take a lot of actions on its own, which are not defined by you. So GenAI will increase your security wall, your security permutation combination. And now something very important is when you move to GenAI is all data-based. What if I try to poison your data? What if I try to pollute your data? So somebody has to take care of this golden data, which is part of your LLM. So there is new trade coming into picture, which is security of the data which is owned by LLM. Data from which your LLM is learning. How to ensure the quality of data from which your machine is getting trained is the right one. So this is very important stuff that is coming up today, and will make a lot of work for future. Something very, very important is human-centric roles and niche skills. With time, if you go by Harvard, World Economic Forum, what really is happening is your human touch is decreasing. You're talking more to chatbots, your machines, they will do a lot of stuff for you. So your human touch will reduce. Today, if 40% of code is written by a machine, it will increase to 70, 80, 90. But there will come a time where you want some human to debug it. The requirement has changed. Somebody has to analyze what to change. And there will come human who will be having niche skills. So people with niche skills are getting paid higher. People with human-centric approach are getting paid higher. Remember, when you design a software, for example, you take a classic example, an iPhone, or a BMW, or a Mercedes, or even your page of Netflix. The designer who designed them are one of the marvels of human mind. Why? Because they represent your persona, what you need, they design it for you. So can you copy their mind and put in an LLM? It's difficult because it's it's not written anywhere. Do you have a mind of Steve Jobs written in any LLM? The answer is no. It is creative mind. Creativity cannot be stored in an LLM. You cannot have it somewhere. So these creative minds, these people with niche skills. For example, I tell you, I have spent a good amount of my time in DevOps. When the system fail, it is all experience, it is all analysis that comes into picture. Did I write it somewhere on the notebook in any database? The answer is no. It is all observation that happens on the ground. And sometimes there is no rule that is followed. It is all based upon the analysis. So such things, people with critical thinking will come into picture, and they are the one who will be paid a lot. So let's talk about something which is very important, which I always talk about. Today, what are the skills we need? Prompt engineering, applied learning, LLM is something, machine learning operations is important, ML, like I said, ML operations is very important. Your data modeling is very important. You need to maintain, displaying this data all the time. AI workflow manager is very important. These work have to compete. AI ethics and governance is very important. How do you make sure that AI is used in the right way? And AI is not playing with the compliance of the company. So all these roles are evolving, and they are bringing a lot of news today, and they are going to shape as we grow. As per Harvard World Economic, World Economic Review, all the roles for 2035, the roles that we have are still evolving. We don't know what will be the roles at that time. So if you ask me what will be you doing after in the next 10 years, I don't know. Maybe we'll all be working the same as today, or maybe not. So these roles are evolving, and we have to get ourselves ready for that. So some mapping from Gartner, what it says, the few of the skills are going out of the way. For example, classical programming, marketing and media, reading and writing mathematics, quality control. These are the skills which are getting out of focus. Emerging skill, if you see, network and cyber security together, user experience, design and user experience. These are the skills which are picking up. Which are the core skills we need by 2030? AI and big data, technical literacy, curiosity, creative thinking, talent management, system thinking, and and these are the skills which will be. And what are the steady things? Resource management, optimization, empathy, and these are some of the classic skills which will remain there. But if you talk about technology, big data, AI, technical literacy, and your ability to learn new things, because we don't know what will be needed at that time. So we should be ready about that. Now, I will just stop here and let you know what should you do for it. Do you have a roadmap? What will happen to you after 4 years when you go out of the college, or after 1 year when you go to the college? Develop an ability to learn all your life. So be a lifelong learner. Keep learning from your mistakes. Keep learning from your practices. So embrace the changes. Don't be rigid. I am a Java developer. Don't become stubborn that I will not change. Maybe tomorrow, cybersecurity is outdated. It is all machine oriented. Something new will come into picture. So be ready to adopt that change. At the same time, focus on your basics. If your basics are strong, you will always evolve. So work on that part. Develop unique human skills. Like I said, humans need basic skills. So develop them. Always learn to leverage AI as a tool. You cannot live without AI. So let's learn how to leverage it, and do not become a dependent or a parasite on it. I went to one of the universities a few months back, and the question somebody asked me is, how can I stay without it for a day? So I gave them answer, have a detox for yourself. Promise yourself, today I'll not use AI for a day. And the person told me, you know what? I cannot even write 10 lines without AI today. This is where I am today. So I don't want to be in that mode where I don't know how to write 10 lines without AI. So make sure you don't lose your creativity. You are not dependent on AI. At the same time, you should use AI for the task which will expedite your life. Work on that. And always very important, stay relevant, stay, learn what is happening, and be informed. Last, and I generally end my session with this, which is future 2040. I delivered a talk about it a few months back. 2040, 2047, when India will turn 100 years, the jobs will be more in gig economy, which says a person will be doing more than one job at a time. The permanent jobs will not be so common at that time. So you will be doing multiple jobs with multiple skills at that time. So if you look today also, gig economy is picking up today, which means during your college, during your job, you can do multiple gigs, which can be doing coding for somebody when you are free, which will give you more empowerment, money, confidence. Also, you can also write code open source for Red Hat. You can do a lot of stuff on your own, which is a gig, and which will give you a lot of confidence. So gig economy is something that is picking up a lot, and companies are okay to it because the projects for future are going to be short term. Because with Gen AI coming into picture, the development is going to pick up very fast. Today, what my turnaround time is say 1 month, it is going to become reduced by 80%. So I will need less people to do this work. So I'll need more niche people. So my working allocation will reduce. So I will need niche people for less amount of time. And those niche people can be trained when they do more of work from today. So try to see how you can get part of this gig economy, which is happening all over the world. And I think I'll just pause here. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm open to all the questions that you have. Any questions?
Hello. Hello, sir. You are not audible.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any questions which I can answer would be good.
Just a minute, sir. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. एक क्वेश्चन से फोन सर मला दिसत नाही मला विजिबल नाही सर थोडंसं बोलून टाका ना बघते सर पण मला होत नाही आहे माझे दोन्ही स्क्रीन चालू आहेत ॲक्च्युली काय माहीत नाही सर मला माझे दोन आहेत हां सर सांगा ना सर त्यांना प्लीज
Hello. Yeah, sir. There are a couple of questions in the chat box. I would like to read some of the queries. Like the first question is from Arjun Menon. Sir, what would be the best roadmap to become a full stack developer?
Yeah. So, like I said, see, full stack developer, you should know both the front end and the back end, which means you should have a proficiency on Java as well as on the database. But with these tools coming into picture, it is no more that hard and fast tool. You should have a good understanding of the basics on the database side and the programming language and how to prompt the language. So if you ask me in a nutshell, you should have a good proficiency on one front end language, which can interact with which can be Java, Python, or anything, and the backend you should have good understanding on the database.
All right, great, sir. The next question is from Ashraf. How do you balance innovation with ethical responsibility in AI project?
See, ethics is following the rules when nobody is watching you. Okay. Uh, so when you innovate, you only and this world of AI where there is no end, there is not really a way you can control people. Only way is you have symptoms and some traces to control them. So as an individual, you own these ethics for yourself. And there have been cases all around where we have seen people have breached this, and that is why ethical AI is coming into picture with a lot of force today, because there's a lot of recommendation on how AI is being misused. So as AI evolves, there will be a lot of norms set up how to govern AI. And as we talk today, there is very less traceability of how AI is being used and how it is being misused. So as of today, it is all about your self ethics, how you are using it. But innovation always has been used in a very positive way. And from the past itself, your research never had boundaries. It is always ethics which you decide how you want to research in a positive or a negative way. So it continues to be the same way. Any other questions?
I think done, sir. This is the
Okay.
last question. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your words.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of Pimpri-Chinchwad University School of Engineering and Technology, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Singh sir, for delivering such an insightful and inspiring session today. Your rich experiences and practical perspectives on technology, innovation and leadership have truly added great value to this bootcamp, sir. I also thank to our Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sudeep Thepade sir, our Dean, Dr. Vijay Patil sir, and our HOD, Dr. Sagar Pandey sir, AIDS Department, and Dr. Swati Shirke ma'am, AIML Department, for their continuous encouragement and support. A special thanks to all faculty members, students, and participants for your active engagement, which made today's session interactive and meaningful. With this, we conclude day 2 of the Idea to Deployment AI Project Bootcamp. We look forward to your enthusiastic participation in the upcoming sessions as well. Thank you and have a great night ahead.
Thank you.